Music lovers, welcome to another episode of what we call Skip Happens. You know, it's a podcast where we dive deep into the stories, sounds, and inspirations behind the music that you love. And I mean, you love. And I'm your host, Skip Clark. And today, I want to say you're in for a real treat. I'm sitting down with a multi-talented artist whose journey weaves together the words of rock, get this, rock, law, and everything in between. I had to throw that in there. From shredding guitar solos to climbing the charts, she has done it all, and she's only just getting started. Well, she actually started a few years ago because she's been on Skip Happens before. So buckle up. Oh, yeah, baby, because we're about to hear all about the amazing rise of Molly Diago and the powerhouse behind hits like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I was doing my homework, Molly, End of the World. Okay.
Yep.
My Sweet Burning Heart.
Yep.
Okay. And if you've ever wondered what it's like to balance rock stardom with a law degree and how to break through as a genre-defying artist, well, this episode is for you. So let's get right into it. Molly Diago, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good, Skip. How are you? It's so nice to see you again. It's been some time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit. It's been a few years anyways, so the podcast.
At least. I like to not count, but yes.
I know. Well,
long.
We jumped on. You said, Skip, I'm getting old. I said, whoa, hold the phone. No.
I am.
You're not aging at all. If anybody's aging, it's right here.
But my back says otherwise. Okay, let's just go there.
Well, your back says that because the way you play the guitar, and you're all over the place when you do that, and probably one of the best female guitarists that I know. And you know me, that I love music, and it doesn't matter what the genre is. It could be country, it could be rock, it could be alternative. It's all good. And just to watch you play that guitar is phenomenal. But let's talk about you. Let's talk about your beginnings, and then we're going to get into what we really came here to talk about, and that is the brand new single, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
So
sounds like a plan.
This goes back a little bit. You had a high school garage band way back in the day, right?
I did back when I was a baby. I did, and we were terrible, but I didn't know that. Nobody told me that. They just let me go, including my dad, who I believe you know him as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I started out like most kids do, I think, with a terrible garage band that you have all the faith in the world in, and then see where it goes, you know?
Exactly. Well, it was not terrible, because you wouldn't be where you are today if it was terrible.
Yeah. So well, thank you. So we had our moments for sure, both good and bad, but I got a lot of experience, and I kind of got a taste of music, you know, from that and doing the road thing, and I loved it, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else at that time, at least. And but guitar was really my thing, man. Like there was something about it that is just so exciting and fun, and you're always, you know, sort of learning new things. And I think the guitar also, I can kind of hide behind it a little, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like an extra piece of yourself. So I loved it. And, you know, I still play a little bit here and there today, but, you know, humble beginnings for sure.
Well, you're still playing. You say a little bit here and there, but I mean, you're coming out with new music, and you're doing all that, right? So.
Yeah, I am. I'm still trying. Still going for it. So after I did the garage band thing, I floated around with a bunch of different projects, just playing guitar. And then I ended up playing with a band called Tantric for a little bit. And the singer of that band, who, you know, became my friend, he kind of coaxed me into, you know, trying to sing. And a lot of the reason of why I wanted to become a singer is because every band I've ever been in, and sorry if any of the singers, you know, are watching, but they can be a little difficult, and you don't really control your own destiny, you know, when you're not the singer. So, and I mean, that's not always true, but, you know, in a lot of circumstances it is. So like, I wanted to be able to know that I could count on myself and sort of, you know, follow what I wanted to do. And so the only thing, you know, that would make that possible is if I started singing. So that's what I did. And I've been very fortunate to put out, you know, some songs and music over the last 5-6 years. And I got myself a record deal 2 years ago, and we're still going hard with it, and we're hoping for the best, you know?
Well, you, at a young age, though, you headed out on a national tour. correct?
I
And
did, yes.
it,
I was still my first one, I was still in high school,
no kidding.
and, yes, but, I remember going into it and I was really excited because, rock and roll tour and, all the excitement. And of course, when you're like 16, you're like, okay, it's going to be awesome. But buzzkill, my dad was the drummer. So it wasn't as fun as one would have hoped. But I definitely, I enjoyed it, anyway. And I did a couple of tours with my dad. And I'm really thankful for those experiences for sure because that's the dream when you're a kid, to
No,
go
no
sort of
doubt.
tour the country and play
Yeah.
music. And some shows are great, some of them were not, but you learn every single time, every single stop, right?
Every
So
time it's a learning experience every moment, whether it's what you're doing or
100%.
what I do. Every day is a new day, and you're always learning something new, I guess. So, exactly.
Oh,
Do you have
absolutely.
any
And I'm sure you have a lot of stories.
someday we'll talk about that. Can you share any memorable moments, like from those early days on the road? I mean, you being 16, your dad
Yeah.
on the drums, I'm sure he was keeping a close eye on you. And
Oh
you were
man,
keeping a close eye
yeah,
on your
yeah.
dad. So,
I had to keep a close eye. That man's wild, and I didn't know that
good
until we
job.
got there. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and, he did quit the band 2 to 3 times while we were on the road and had to rejoin the next day because he was our driver, so, I think those are the ones that, of course,
Yeah.
are the best ones are always because again, family fighting, and we're Italian, so,
Well, who doesn't?
um
Let me just put it that way. Who doesn't? You love family,
exactly.
but family can really suck at times too. So,
Exactly, and
we all
that's
know.
like I I remember one night, I think we're in Louisville, in a kind of a seedy part of town because again, we were, a newer band, so we weren't playing like,
Right. Right.
the Grand Ole Opry or any venue, similar to it. So I remember it was late at night and it was a bunch of kids and then my dad. And I remember it was so hot. It was like 90 degrees outside. And I went to go change. We had a U-Haul with us with all our gear.
Mhm.
And I locked the keys and everything we owned in the U-Haul. And that I think caused him to quit the band the first time. So just, little things that happen here
Little
and
things
there
like
and trying
that. Yeah.
to navigate, the Italian hotheads. And I'm sure the other band members have an interesting perspective of some of those
I'm
nights, but
sure.
it was fun. It
So when
was fun.
The Italian hotheads get together, you must laugh about some of those days now.
Now we do, but
Yeah.
it took 10 years to
Right.
get there, but now looking back at it, it was lots of fun. And I'm sure, hopefully he's laughing about it now too.
I'm sure he is. And I'm sure he's
One
going,
can
I
only
can't
hope.
believe she just talked about that. So, and
Probably, but you know what?
probably.
He took that risk. He took that risk by doing it, so but yeah, all in good fun.
You did collaborations with the All American Rejects and also Pop Evil. That was pretty impressive. What lesson did you learn from working alongside some of the biggest names in rock?
The biggest thing, and especially like watching some of those guys just do what they do, is like they never sort of give up that original passion of why they do this. And I think that even now, I have to kind of remind myself sometimes because life gets busy, especially as you grow up. So I think the most important part of watching the season guys do it is just the dedication and the hard work and the hours that go into all this and being able to take a step back and sort of enjoy that, at the end of the day. And
Mm,
that's every single night, of being around those people. It's always that, listen, like this is the culmination of why you do this, and to see the
sure.
people, of course, whether it be for me or for them or whoever, it's exciting. But actually one of my favorite gigs still to this day, and I think you had something to do with it.
Oh.
I remember I was in a country band and I believe that we were opening for Frankie Ballard
Mm,
uh, at the Kegs place.
it was
I think
Kegs
that was one
Canal,
of your shows.
yes. It was Kegs Canal Side, and they're located in Jordan, New York.
Mhm.
Uh, it's a redneck bar. It's a cool bar. It's a honky tonk. It's whatever you want it to be. But yes, Frankie Ballard. That's right. We did have a lot to
That
do
was a
there.
long time ago.
Oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks now. Oh yeah, and they're still going strong
Absolutely.
out there. They're still doing a lot of shows, both rock
I
and
was wondering, so they have indoor outdoor, right, at that venue?
yes.
Like they
Yes.
because we played in the outdoor portion, but it's really actually the outdoor stage was very impressive because I remember like it goes back like
Oh,
a
yeah, and it's
ways,
even more so
right?
now. I mean, he is Tony, the owner, is continuously been adding on and making it better, a little bit at a time. And over the last few years, he's done so much to this venue that artists are loving the fact that they get to play there and they get booked to play there. And the outdoor stage is phenomenal. Even the indoor stage now that's all been redone, and the sound system is phenomenal, and it's just a great place.
That's
Whether
awesome.
yeah, indoor or
And
outdoor, you know.
it's awesome that they're preserving that because I think especially post COVID, and I'm sure you've seen it, like a lot of
Mm,
these venues have definitely probably struggled to stay afloat.
I think they're still
And
struggling. Yes. Yes.
and in Syracuse, New York, like that's what you do. You go see shows, right? So that's or Syracuse, Jordan, the area,
It
right? So I
the
think that's
area.
awesome that they're kicking a lot, and even because they're really I feel like there's less and less country venues too. Granted, I have not been there in a while, but I just remember that place. It was wonderful.
You
Is
know,
what I'm getting at.
nowadays there's venues. They're venues. That's all.
Mhm.
It's more
They're
than
just whatever.
they
Nice.
do it, there's a couple of clubs around town. They could do country one night, they're doing rock the next night, they have a rapper the next night. So they're doing a
Awesome.
little bit of everything and trying to get people to come out and enjoy the shows. But like you said, this post-COVID stuff has been really hard on a lot of owners, a lot of venues, even a lot of artists, to get back out there. But now we have this avenue, as we have Skip Happens,
Yep.
to get people like you on and, let's talk. You know what I mean? I mean, I do this with a lot
Love
of
it.
big country artists. So, hey, a guitarist, being a guitarist, that was your first love, right? Then you moved into vocals. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the guitar was like a safe spot for me. I had never considered singing ever, but again, I had one influence in my life who was just like, listen, if this is what you want to excel at, and because I not that I have control issues, but I do, people in my life will say yes, but I wanted to be able to again control my destiny because a
Absolutely.
lot of times when you're putting a lot of hours and work into this, and if
Mhm,
everybody's not on that same page, it's hard. And I mean, you can't fault them for that either because some people, they're becoming adults, right? They're getting careers and
mhm, mhm,
in order for me to really take hold of what I wanted to do, I had to, put the pieces together and start singing. So that's kind of how we got here.
mhm. And you always knew you had that in you. I'm just saying.
I don't think so.
No,
Maybe I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't
Maybe in the shower I thought I was great, but like,
know. Don't we
don't we
all?
all?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I have to
for
ask.
sure.
So first of all, where are you right now?
I'm in Connecticut at this
Okay.
very second.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. You're
Freezing
not
my
that
butt off.
far.
Although I heard you guys got buried with snow.
Well, it depends. You're from the area originally, and you know that we get the lake
Mhm.
effect. So it could be snowing like crazy one spot, drive down the road about a mile, and it's sunny. So,
It's
I
fine,
guess we
right?
got a couple of feet here, but areas just to the north got 5, 6, 7 feet. So it's just unheard of.
Crazy,
Crazy.
crazy,
But I'm
crazy,
going to say
crazy.
this:
And then
there's a lot going on in the world. And there's a lot going on right here in the United States right now. I know that I'm going to come. I'll take. You want to throw all the lake effect snow at me? Fine, I'll take that because I know I'm still coming home to a home and not ash.
yep,
So it's just, I read about it and I have to talk about it
it's
every day on
crazy.
the air. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. But I remember last night because I didn't realize really how tragic the situation is, especially in our friends in California. But the videos coming out of there are just I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what they're going through. And definitely our heart, goes out to them
Yeah.
100%. And I mean, you probably as well. We have a lot of friends there.
And,
So
we all know people in
definitely,
the biz. Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, I can't even, especially, for them, we're thinking about them for sure. But yes, like you said, I was complaining all week about 20s until today when I saw those videos. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Mhm,
terrible.
mhm. I want to say Gordy just chimed in and said, from what I just heard on Spotify, Molly made the right decision to be a singer.
Oh, thank you, Gordy. I appreciate that.
That's pretty
I
cool.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Now I have to ask this transition, if there is one, from music to law? Because you got a law degree at Syracuse University.
Somehow, yes, I did.
That's what needs so. You're the smart one here. Definitely I wouldn't be doing that. So
Well, so while I was still, very actively playing music, Syracuse, of course, Let's Go Orange, although the basketball team is questionable at best this year, but I was really fortunate enough to have really flexible, learning options at Syracuse, and they really embraced me as a person versus just, sort of a regular law student. So I was able to pursue that, while still pursuing my career in music, which I'm super thankful for. I didn't have to take a break. And somehow I graduated and I passed the bar on my first try. And I think I was sworn in 5 years ago yesterday. So
I love the way
like I said, I feel like I'm getting old, but we're here.
I love it when you say, somehow I did it. Young lady, you did very well. I mean, obviously, and if you pass the bar in your first attempt, that's pretty cool from what I've heard. So you're practiced, you've been licensed to practice law in 2 states, I'm reading. And have you ever had to use your legal background doing what you do?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think, well, for me personally, when I got the record deal that I have now with Wake Up Music, which love them, great group of people, that was the first time I really got to be like, okay, I've trained for this moment, in multiple ways, and be able to understand my rights as an artist, and make sure that I'm doing right by myself, and because I think the biggest thing that artists do wrong is they don't value themselves properly, and it's really easy to get swept up in bright lights, and then you fall right back down on your butt, and then you've got nothing. So I knew components of how to, sort of set myself up. And I think I use law musically more for my friends than I do myself, because I get questions, every day, because of course, from playing guitar in various bands and groups, and I'm associated with a lot of different people that now they know, the guitar playing lawyer is me. They call me. And I mean, it's great because I get calls from a lot of cool people, in music. But again, a lot of times the industry is set up I guess disadvantageous for musicians, and a lot of times they don't know,
Sure.
and it's okay, because how can you know what you don't know? You can't expect them to. So one really big thing that's important to me is to be able to give back to my music friends who need me, in those times. And even today, I just helped a guy from Syracuse license a tune that they're using for the Syracuse. They're not the Sky Chiefs anymore, right? They're something else.
No, they haven't been the Sky Chiefs in a while. They are now.
Oh my gosh!
They went from the Sky Chiefs,
Mets, right?
Chiefs, and now they're the Mets, the Syracuse Mets,
okay.
AAA affiliate,
the Syracuse
New York Mets.
And Zach, isn't he kind of like the MC over there?
No, Zach works.
Yeah, my man.
He works in. I tried to get him to come down and say hello, but he's in his room. He practices announcing all the time. He doesn't really do a lot of the MC. I'm one of the PA announcers, but Zach does work in the press box, and he does a lot with the lineups. Make sure everything is in order. Make sure the players all have their walk-up song in the computer. He does all that.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's great, and I know he loves it.
Oh my God!
So I know you'll have to tell him I miss him. I was hoping I would get to see him today, but
no, I will. Yeah, absolutely.
But like I said, just today, someone from Syracuse, or yesterday, called me about licensing a song that I guess the Mets are using for. Maybe I don't know even what purpose, but some purpose. So it comes into play here and there,
Right. Let me ask you though, from a whole different perspective here, how important is it to get it licensed? Is that like, if you think you have something, that they should get a hold of somebody that does what you do and take care of all that? Is that will protect them, correct? So somebody doesn't copy their work and all that, copyright it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's to copyright a song is really easy, right? It's just basically, you're sending it into the US government. You're saying, hey, this is mine. Nobody else can use it. Mostly it's, for lyrical, but even so, the song as well. So it's like buying a piece of land, right? You're putting your flag in that land and saying, this is my property. Same thing with music, right? It's intellectual property. It's not real property, but if you can take that and license it, there are bunches of companies that will distribute your music, even if you are not connected whatsoever to anyone, you can still sign up for distribution, and the songs can get sent out to the Mets. The songs can get sent out to WWE, picks up a
Mhm,
lot of independent
mhm,
music.
mhm.
All these things that, can generate income. So you can actually make a living doing
Yeah,
something
you
that
should
you
be
like.
compensated for
So
that. So that's cool.
100%, you should be compensated. And it sucks because it's still not much. It's still not what it should be. But a lot of where artists, especially independent artists, make a lot of money is licensing to TV, licensing to,
Mhm.
sports teams, licensing to any type of sync licensing. That is really where a lot of songwriters make the bulk of their money today, because again, streaming is not paying as well as it should be, in my opinion. So it's important to know your rights and
Mhm,
stake your
mhm.
claim in your property because it's yours and you made it.
How important is it to you as a musician to be on the social media, to be streaming and all that? Is that very important?
I think so because, everybody's on social media, right? So,
Exactly.
and then you see, I mean, a new platform is born, right, every 2 or 3 years. Like, TikTok, I know is now important. And it's easy to get swallowed up. And I think that for me, especially in the beginning, it was really discouraging because like you see all these people that are having major success, whether it be YouTube or Facebook. And if you don't know what you're doing, like it can be, hard, but
Mhm.
I know that all the social media team at the label, and they hate me because I do such a bad job of this. But the more you post, supposedly, the better it's supposed to get. I guess I don't know, but I know it's important. I just am. I'm not a good example of it for sure. But I do recognize,
Yeah.
that that's the key to the world these days.
It's scary, but it's not. Does that make sense? But there's
Yes,
so many artists that have become somebody because of TikTok, because of Instagram, because of what they're doing on Facebook. I guess it would be TikTok out of the most. And it's almost like we could be losing that. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but still, there's so
I
many
know.
artists that, that I'm playing on the air now that actually there's too many. If that, I don't want to upset anybody, but
There's a
they're all
lot.
great though. They're all good, but still, it's they're being noticed because they're on TikTok. So
I know, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Let
And I think that, that's why it's important to balance the interests, And
yeah,
I guess it's good advice for, to tell these artists to keep going, but again, I'm a bad role model with it because I am very, very fortunate that I have, a team of folks who do a lot of marketing for me, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have to I can post about ponies and, all that other
Oh, I
stuff,
know.
but,
By the way,
definitely, you're 100%
I do love the horses. By the way, and I know that
me too.
just I love seeing the pics, and they're just beautiful, beautiful. And do you,
They're
so are
beautiful.
how many do you have? Can I ask?
I don't know. It depends on the day. We have too many, but, I was born into horse racing, which, Vernon Downs is
Right,
right
I
down
was
the
gonna
street
go
in
there.
Missouri.
Okay, all right.
Love it, love it. It's, that's kind of where I'm from, and, I fell in love with the horses,
Mhm.
and now I've more recently, because the horses at Vernon, they race with, like a sulky, a cart behind them. It's not
Right,
like the thoroughbreds that you see Kentucky Derby,
right.
and they're kind of like the unsung heroes of the horse world. So when they're done racing, like, not a lot of people, I guess want them, which is sad because they're really wonderful athletes and they're really, the temperament is really good.
Mhm.
So I've kind of dedicated my life to creating other careers for the types of horses that race with the cart in hopes to sort of
Mm,
end the slaughter crisis that we have.
yeah.
And I've really sunk into this quite a bit, and especially during COVID and stuff. So I love doing it, but it takes a lot of my time, especially in the summer. And it's become hard because I've managed to get a wonderful booking agent, and he gets quite frustrated with me because I can't, you can't do the festival on July 4th because we have a horse show, and so I'm trying to learn how to balance,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
horses with the
You'll
music.
get it.
But that summer is a fun time.
No, absolutely, and they're as I mentioned a moment ago, they're absolutely beautiful. If you haven't seen them, just look up Molly on Facebook. You're gonna see some pictures
It's
of
all
her.
ponies.
Oh, those ponies are beautiful. Now, you've been so lucky to have a song actually go into the top 40, and End of the
I
World did that,
have.
if I'm not mistaken. How was that? And when you first saw that track take off back in the day, how was that? How did you
I
feel?
was so excited. It was so
Yeah.
exciting, and I remember there was a lot of turmoil going into it because, I had one release prior and there was a lot of turmoil. There's always turmoil with me and the music. So you kind of get used to it. But End of the World was the first song where the first couple songs I put out were duets. And I think
Mhm.
part of it was because I was like, deep down, I was too scared to just jump out again, hiding behind a guitar, right? Or, oh, somebody else is on the song with me. It's not just me. This was my first track where I was like, nope, we're going all in. And I did it without a label or anything. I was really fortunate again to just
That's
have
cool.
connections that could help piece together the puzzle.
Mhm.
And you probably know quite a bit about this from your role in what you do in our industry. But the way that the music world works today, there's label services companies all over the place, and they basically fill the hole of what labels do for artists. Whether it's
Right.
connecting with a radio agent, who will pitch you the song,
Mhm.
whether it's getting your music on playlists, whether it's all of the fun stuff that labels do, marketing. But you can go out and hire these people to do it. The downside is it costs money to do that, right? It's expensive. But the good side is if the song takes off, you own 100% of it. You're not sharing with anybody.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I was able to piece together the campaign myself, and when it went off and we
So
broke into the top 40 on Active Rock, it was exciting. I
yeah,
loved it.
it is. I became friends with a country music artist, Drew Baldrige, and Drew had a song called "She's Somebody's Daughter." I brought Drew, and I know this is about you. It's not supposed to be about me, but I'll tell you what happened here. I brought Drew
Yeah,
in
tell me.
for a show a little over a year ago. He drove up in his own car from Nashville. He sold his own merchandise. He had that in the trunk. Had his guitar in the back seat. He came in. He played the show. He sang "She's Somebody's Daughter." He financed all that himself. I put the song on the radio. That song went all the way to number one,
Freaking
and he
awesome.
all on his own, out of his own pocket.
Amazing.
And now he's already off and running with another song called "Tough People." But sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to, you take those chances.
Absolutely.
And he
Keep it
did.
going.
And he's very just a great person. He remembers the fact that we brought him in. He sent me a Christmas greeting. He said Happy New Year. We text back and forth quite a bit. So and now he's on a major tour with Bailey Zimmerman. He's going to be at CMAC. So that's pretty cool.
You know, I actually, funny enough, see him on TikTok. I see him on TikTok, and I was a little bit familiar with his story, and what he's
Yes.
doing is exactly like, and honestly, and I'm sure that you feel this way. When an artist kind of takes control of the process like that and does
Mhm.
it, like I couldn't be more proud because honestly,
Absolutely.
you can do it. You can do it yourself. You don't need a major label. And then I'm sure in his position, especially out with Bailey, um, he's in a position where the labels are going to want him versus the other way around. And that's the best position to be in, right?
Yep. Yep.
To be able to bargain and be in control of your music and your life. And honestly, amazing job with him. And it's thanks to people like you who are willing to give them a chance, and I
Right.
can't say that enough. And I say it every time, but I deeply appreciate everything that you do, not only in Syracuse, but nationally.
Mhm.
For the artists
Well,
that come
thank
on
you.
Skip Happens, for the artists that
Yeah.
yeah, you play on your station,
On
all
the
of it.
wolf.
We
Yeah.
really, really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yep. Yep. No, thank you. But I love doing it. So just like you have a passion and dedication for what you do. I have a passion and dedication for what I do. So, and that's,
I love it.
that's how it works. That's how it works. What about My Sweet Burning Heart? That hit I'm reading this now. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I pulled this off the web. My Sweet Burning Heart hit #1 on the international DRT chart. That had to be a super huge moment for you in your career. And what do you think clicked with listeners to bring that song such widespread recognition? Because to go to #1, you have to have that. It's all over.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, that was actually a little country tune, at least
Mhm.
in my opinion, it was. And honestly, I can't take any credit for that because I was tapped to do the song. A writer at the label, Pepper, she's also one of the owners of the label. She had written the song years before, and it just kind of sat on the shelf. And she was really passionate about the song, like really liked it, and she played it for me. I liked it as well. So, and that was the first time, I had sort of a work with this label is, hey,
Mhm.
let's try this, see how it goes. So, I recorded the song for her, and we did a whole media tour. We went to a bunch of news stations and all kinds of radio stations, and I guess it resonated, listeners, which
Yeah.
was really exciting to watch. And it was exciting, for all the people involved, because the song, especially, it was like, kind of a dream of hers to have, something like this, where it was a collaborative effort and really a song that she was really passionate about. And so for her to pick me to sort of bring that to life, I was definitely really honored. And we had a lot of fun flying all over the country, doing all the press for that song as well. And, doing some shows to sort of support it. So it was definitely exciting. And I do have a plaque to show for it. I should actually put that in my background. All the plaques that I've gotten, thankfully, because of the great team that I have.
Cool.
But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's so cool. All right, let's bring it up to date.
Mm-hmm.
I've got you on here. We're going to be talking about a brand new song that's out. I think I can. Let me just see if I can bring it up here. I know I have it. So here we go. Let me know if you can hear this or not.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
There it is.
Let's let it play for a minute.
That's the thing.
God, I love it.
It's just a high on the nights and never end. You hear the lies of the needle you call friend. Let the pain live on the inside. You're ossified, but you're reaching younger than you see the shame as you drag down your skin. Over the voices you deny.
That's you on a guitar, right?
Whatever you believe, to find you,
There I am.
you conceive. They find you, break. Nothing ever lasts. Take. You're running from the past. This is how it has to be. Chained to your tears.
Wow.
That's
girl.
it.
Woo!
I know it's a rocker, but
That's a good rocker.
I'm definitely excited.
I can picture myself having that on in the truck.
I'm glad. That's exactly what I needed to hear.
No, in the middle of summer, windows down, moonroof open, sunroof open, whatever you want to call it, and having that crank
Aviators, for sure.
and breaking every speed limit there is. That is so
That's all right.
freaking cool.
You call me. If you get pulled over, just give me a call.
Molly, I need some help with this ticket. You're gonna go, what were you
I'll
doing?
take care of it.
Never mind. No, I know that. But still, and now tell us about that. It's like a whole new chapter in your career.
Yeah, for sure. So again, a lot of songs that we've put out so far have been very much a collaborative effort. So I was working with a producer in St. Louis who he's an up and coming kind of producer in rock. He's played in a lot of big active rock bands the last 10 years, and he's kind of dipped his toe into producing, and I like his style. We work well together. So I hit him up with a little bit of a guitar riff, basically, and then 24 hours later he had a whole track, and we worked together to kind of piece it piece by piece, and then I threw some words to it, and we jammed out, and I went and recorded it here in Hartford, Connecticut, and again, a couple of days later, here we are, basically. So the song didn't exist like 30 days ago, so it's all been very quick and exciting, to say the least. But yeah, so as usual, I Miles Claiborne is the producer who put this together with me, and it was a great time. It was super fun.
That's you on the guitar, which is just phenomenal. I mean, just
both me. Yeah, some me, some Miles in there, and because Miles is great, he plays every instrument known to man, as most of these producer guys do. But like I said, I kind of found a riff that I liked, and we just kind of went off it. And a lot of my songs, that's how they start, a riff, because I'm a guitar player. So.
That's what I was going to ask. So you being a guitar player, you're going to start. I know you want to write, and you want to sing, and you want to do all that, but you start with a guitar riff, and then you build off that.
You go from there. Mm-hmm.
See, because when I talk to songwriters, obviously it's what songwriters, or you're a guitar player, guitarist. But they're like, okay, I'll put down this, I'll write down a couple of these lines, then I'll build off of that, and then we'll put the music in
Yep.
afterwards. You do it the opposite way because you're a guitarist, you're a musician. So now you start.
Yep.
I love that. Oh my God. It's so cool.
I do. And it's just the way that it goes, And when I started songwriting, because I songwrite for myself, of course, and actually I prefer to use producers for my own music because I feel like I don't. I'm never so sure of what I'm writing for myself is really good. So I love partnering with great people who are professionals and have songs on the radio, every day. But I songwrite for some other people, and it's such a different process when I'm doing it, for other folks, and it's a lot more traditional. But for me, it always starts with, a guitar riff, and we see where it goes,
Do you do everything from there where you are in Connecticut? Do you do everything from there, or do you get a chance to go to the West Coast or Nashville or somewhere where there's music happening?
So in terms of recording, I use a bunch of different studios. I use one in Fort Wayne quite a bit. I use one in Boston. I use one in Syracuse. Brett Hoban, actually.
Oh, nice.
Baldwinsville.
Yep.
Great guy. Love them. Todd Hoban is, I think, his dad.
Yep.
And it's just kind of number one, we look at the tools, because each studio is a little different. Like they all have their ups and downs. I haven't been able to record in Nashville yet. I did get to go down to Writers Row, which was amazing, and experience some of the madness that happens there, but I've never got to record there yet. That's definitely a bucket list. But when it comes to putting these songs together, a lot of times, especially post-COVID, you can do so much remotely. And the studio that I love to use in Hartford, they have a setup so your producer can basically zoom into the session.
Oh,
and
wow.
because when I'm in the booth, because again, confidence issue, still I'm never like 100% sure of myself. I need someone to yell at me to say, hey, listen, that was terrible, because a lot of the engineers are just really nice when you come in, and I'm like, no, I need to know if that sucks, so it's just,
yeah,
who's got what, and we fly there, we stay here, whatever.
I can't see that you being that way, but only you, but I can pretty much relate because, don't sugarcoat it. If I suck, tell me I suck, because I need to build off of that. It's the same thing with radio or when I do voiceover or anything along those lines. If I'm not doing it right, don't be nice to me. Tell me.
Right. Tell me. I want to know, because that means the whole world is know. Well, I always wonder, especially with radio.
What's that?
I mean, you have to be, especially with radio. I've always wondered, like, you have to be on the ball pretty much every day. Like, is there ever a period where, because I know that I feel this way, especially when you get in a booth, like, is there nerves wait, what did I just say? Like, what does that feel like for you? Because I'm honestly curious, because I feel like I get the same way. And the pressure to be able to hit, every day, or, have segments, I guess, or even just the way that you speak resonate, I guess, with the crowd. Like, what does that feel like? What does that feel like? How do you deal with that?
You're human, and you're going to have those days. We all have those days. And then where you just say, what, screw this shit. I'm going to back off, and I'm just going to, I'll come back tomorrow, or I'll come back in an hour, whatever. You just, sometimes you need to do that. Don't push yourself. But I also talk about, and when I bring people into the studio that are new, I'll say, what? It's especially with young kids, and they kind of laugh at me, but I'll say, hey, look at my scooch. I said, bring something in, put it there, and have a conversation with it. And that's what I would tell you. You look at the way you're talking to me tonight. This is great. We're having a one-on-one conversation, even though we have 213 people watching us right now. But still,
we do.
I'm looking at the numbers, but still, you and I are having a conversation. You and I are one-on-one, and this is how it should be. When I go on the air in the afternoon, I'm talking to my wife. Well, I don't know if I'm talking to my wife, but I'm just, but I'm talking to my friend. I'm talking to my best friend, and I don't think of it as, God, there's hundreds or thousands or whatever number of people out there listening. It's one-on-one. It's me talking to you. Hey, what are you doing today? Huh? You know what? Did you drive into work this morning? Did you see the accident on Route 81? If you come down 81, I'm having that conversation.
Yeah, right.
That's what makes great radio. Sure. And exactly with what you do, you get into the booth. You know what? Maybe you prop a teddy bear up there and you say, hey,
Right. This is what I'm doing. Right. And that's it's a very, very good perspective. And a lot of times, like, I have to
Mhm.
remind myself that too, because I had a mentor. He's actually a metal singer, a super heavy singer, but a really successful guy. And
Mhm.
I remember he brought me in to sing once. And I sang the first line and he took his headphones off and he looked to the ground. He was just shook his head. I'm like, oh shit. What? He's like, you're not selling this to me. Like, he's like, you're just like willy-nilly just trying to get through. He said, you need to sell it. You
Yes.
need to, like, it's real, like it's real life, and that stuck with me for the rest of my life because I'm like, okay, you don't think of it until you think of it, or someone tells you, hey,
Mhm.
relax, you know.
Exactly. That's exactly it, Molly. And by the way, Mike Mahoney
Mhm.
says hello. No, it's Lynn's Highland says hi too. I don't know if you can see him.
Hey,
Yeah. So
hi everybody.
yeah.
I didn't realize this is also on Facebook. I just shared it to Facebook like a minute ago because I didn't realize that we had Facebook too, which is
Well,
awesome. I love it.
yeah, and I do. If these are a lot of your viewers and a lot of your fans that if they want to subscribe to Skip Happens, I wouldn't say no.
Heck yeah.
Uh,
Everybody hit the button.
Yeah, just go subscribe, my friend, because we do talk to all the artists, or I can't say all, but a lot of big artists, a lot of new artists, a lot of independent artists, a lot of anybody that's anybody.
All the good stuff.
Everybody's got something.
100%.
Everybody's got a story, Molly. Everybody's got a story.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter who they are. Everybody's got a story.
Absolutely. And it's good to listen, sometimes and be able to take in these moments. And actually, I believe we're going to be talking to a gentleman shortly who is
Where's
young.
Jackson? Where's Jackson?
Jackson.
Where's Jackson?
Where is Jackson?
Tell us
Jackson's a little nervous. This is
All
his
right, tell
first
us
time,
about-
but he's here.
I know. Tell us about Jackson, though. Tell us a little bit about.
Okay. So he is hold on, we're gonna move over. You want to bring a chair over. Hold on. We're doing a costume change here.
That's okay. I can rearrange the screen.
He's a brand new artist. This is his very first release. You're gonna come in?
Hello.
There
Here he
is.
is.
Dude,
This is
what's
Skip,
up?
my friend Skip.
Hello.
Hello,
Here he
my
is.
friend.
So Jackson he's still young, he's still a kid, but he's coming out and this is his very first track. He features on my track, Chain, that's coming out on 131 that we just talked about.
Very cool.
He is super he's kind of reminded me that I should not take any of this for granted because he's excited and nervous and all of the things. And I need to also remember sometimes what that feels like, and how exciting it is. So we went into the studio to do my vocals. It was a snow day, so he joined me from school. And I asked him, I said, there's a little piece of the song, right, that could maybe fit a little rap verse in there. And he said, yeah, let me give it a try. And he went right in the booth like he was born to do it and just laid down a track. And it made the cut and the label loved it. And, he's stuck on the song. So, of
That's
course, we're learning that with a song, we have to do press and fun stuff. So I told him, this is the fun stuff, right?
Yeah, and
He's
how
like,
do you feel,
yep.
Jackson? How do you feel about all that? It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. Something different to try out. So yeah.
And you've never
For sure.
had that type of experience before.
No.
And you rap, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool. But you've never done it on a professional level before. This is pretty much
Nope.
professional. It's pretty cool. And if the studio loved it, dude, that's even
I know the label liked it.
Yeah.
That's so it took me so many years to get a label to like one of my things. So I was a little jealous, not gonna lie. Because it's a journey to get to where we are. And so I'm really excited and I've he's been great and we're amped up and hopefully the family is excited and everybody's ready to go and see what it does.
Did you play it for the family? I assume you did in the way you talk, that you've already played it for the family. Are you like playing it for all your friends saying, hey, this is me. This is me.
Nah, not really.
Oh, come on.
No, we're
I'd
a
be all
little
over
shy.
that. I'd be all over that. What part of the song does he rap in?
He raps in the bridge.
Did we play that?
No, it's a ways into the track. Like
I'm just
at
gonna
least
bring it
2
up here a
minutes.
little bit. Is that him?
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna back up.
Big debut.
Hang on, let's do it. Let's do it one more time.
it now. It's too late, and the dark will you in. The fight is over, let the shadows begin.
That dude, that's so good. So good. So
It's like
good.
he's been doing it his whole life. It was wild. And I was surprised he even went in the booth, but when he went in the booth and, like killed it on the first time, we were like, what the hell, but hey, if you got it, you got it.
And Mike Mahoney says, OMG, Jackson. That's pretty cool. So
There you go.
yeah.
So
Dude.
yeah, we'll see how it does.
So, I mean, how did you and Jackson kind of get together to do this? Maybe you mentioned it a moment ago, or I don't know, maybe I
Sure.
was just having a break here.
So
How did you guys come together?
I've been in Jackson's life since he was a little, 7, since he was a baby.
So cool.
And I mean, he's kind of been around a little bit, my music stuff. I took him, I don't know, Skip, do you know Fox Fest in Syracuse?
Yes, yeah.
I don't even know if it. So one year I played Fox Fest, like, you guys came around to it. So he's always kind of been, around some of the music stuff. And again, when I went in to go record the song, I knew, of course, all the kids these days, like they have their like AirPods in listening to rap and stuff, but he kind of thought, maybe you might be interested in doing some music stuff. And you have me who's got, songs and some resources to be able to make it happen. So I had to go in the studio to cut this track. I asked him if he wants to come because it was a snow day, and that's kind of the rest is history. But that's pretty much how it went, right?
Yeah.
I love snow days. See, you get something good out of that.
I tried telling him, but I don't know if he believes me.
So you're 16, Jackson?
You're 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'm 14.
He's 14.
Yeah,
14. Wait, what? He's 14? I thought
Yep, 14.
16. Oh my goodness.
It's a grown man on that track, isn't it?
Dude, do you realize I don't know of another 14-year-old that has been dragged into the studio in a good way, and now you're on a song that's going to kick some ass. And they're going to go, who is that rapper? And they're going to go, it's 14-year-old Jackson.
I know.
People are going to go, what? So that's cool.
It's crazy, right?
You're with good people, my friend. You're with good people.
100%.
Yeah.
And it should be exciting. Like I said a little earlier, like this sort of well-known rock radio agent just picked it up yesterday. So we're definitely hopeful that, hopefully we can top, end of the world for me. That's my goal. And of course, Jackson, his first try landing on a chart would not be crazy.
No, it's a start. It's a start. Then you got to follow it up with something.
Sure.
So, yeah, exactly.
That's what I tell him. Now you're going to have to go all in.
Now, Molly, you like all kinds of music. I know, as we've mentioned, you're a hell of a guitar player. You're into the, the rock and all that. And I know when you get on stage, you let it all out, man. You're nuts on that guitar, which is pretty awesome. But you did play country for a while, which I know with your dad and all that. And so would you go back and play country if somebody asked you to?
Yeah, I think if the right situation came along. I mean, I love country music. I listen to it in my car almost every day. I love country. I love, hip hop. I love a little bit of everything. But the thing I like about country music today, especially modern country, my favorite genre is like 2000s rock. And I find that a lot of today's modern country sort of mirrors a lot of that. They rely heavily on, guitars and not computerized, everything, and rock is getting heavily computerized, which I don't love. So I would love to come back and play country and like a lot of the country singers and artists out right now are incredibly talented. And I think it would be an honor to, be able to step back into that ring a little bit and see what happens. And
it's funny that you mentioned the 2000 rock, rock back in the early 2000s, because knowing the people that I know and the shows that I go to, and, they do their country stuff, but then they go back to those days. It's like their roots are in rock. And it's just like, are you shitting me? This is awesome. It's crazy. It's wild.
It's definitely.
Yeah, I love these.
Well, that's like Darius Rucker. Darius Rucker is one of my, I love Hootie, and he was real, like, although he's, I guess, a little bit more 90s than 2000s, but I think that those types of crossovers is what I want to hear, and I think, I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about crossing over. So there's a lot of artists. I mean, we're getting a lot of crossover from pop artists going country, country artists going pop. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I mean, I think that freedom of expression is the big thing, and if you want to try something, I mean, our girl Taylor, she's the biggest
Mhm.
proof of it, and I know you and Tay go way back. Um,
Yep.
I think it's great. I mean, all music is great as long as you're creating and doing something you love. But I'm actually interested more so from the radio perspective of what that's been like to see different artists, come across your desk.
Let's take Post Malone.
How has that impacted?
Huge.
Life on your side?
Huge. You take somebody like a Post
Sure.
Malone who,
I know.
and now he's kicking ass doing country. And you know what? It sounds good. And he's teamed
Sounds
up. He's
great.
got the right people behind him. He's teamed up with other great artists. And he's a great guy. He's just a great
100%.
guy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's people like that that's kind of given the format is evolving. And it just like with rock or anything we do, it evolves. All right. And people are, that's not country. That's not this. That's not, you know what? I'm going to say maybe it's not country like you remember country. But as we go through
Right.
life and we get older, everything
It's
evolves.
what happens.
It's been that way
Absolutely.
with
A lot of it.
computers. Nobody wanted computers, but now everything is computers and everything's digital and everything is evolving the way we listen to music, the way we buy our music, all that. It's just everything it's called evolving. And if you don't
And
change
that's
with the
good.
times, if you don't change with the times, doing what I do or what you do, we're not going to win. So
Absolutely. I completely agree. And I think that that's how music has been forever, It's every time we learn something new and we apply it,
exactly.
hopefully it becomes a new hit. But I mean, and that's, I think, a lot of reasons why, like, for me, it made sense to put a rap verse on a rock song because, and especially the mantra at the label that I'm on is new. She loves new, anything exciting, anything
Mhm.
edgy that breaks the barrier. Because you want to be first to the race, right? And if you're
Right.
first to get something cool, then you're going to be the one. So I think that's why also this made sense to drop a rap verse on this. Did I know that, like
Makes a
I
lot
said, a
of sense.
14-year-old was going to come in and rip fire on it? No, but it worked and it was great. So we're hoping that other people think so too.
Yeah. Jackson, what do you listen to?
Mostly rap.
Yeah. Okay.
Who?
I get it.
Who
Who do
though?
you-
Who's good?
Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi. Really all the
Okay.
top guys.
All the big guys. And we have the sneaker for each of the guys too, right? Travis Scott's, the Jordans, all of it. So I'm learning every day something new with this guy.
Yeah. What's his sneaker collection like? Does he have like how many pairs of these sneakers do you have, Jax?
Right now I got probably around 6 pairs, maybe 8 pairs.
Ooh, that's a year's salary.
Crazy. And he just started a business. Also, as a kid, buying and selling shoes, right? And all
That's
types
cool.
of stuff. So
Good for you, brother.
it's never ending. Never ending
Come on
interesting
away,
stuff
because
here.
You got a hell of a future ahead of you doing what you're doing. And just keep smiling, keep your head up, and stay clean, if you know what I mean, because that's the only way you're going to get ahead. Do what you got to do,
Exactly. Good advice.
And Molly's going
All
to
right,
kick
you're
your
free.
ass if you don't. So
Oh, he knows. He knows.
I love it. I love it. Let me just pop back up here. Here we go. Good. So
Sure.
yeah, so that's great. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for you. We've got chained.
Chain. Yep.
Chain. Okay, I do have it right. My papers are all messed up. But if somebody wants to get on and maybe download the music, can they get it yet? Is it out? Is it available?
It is not yet. Actually, you low key just did a little world premiere right there. It will be available on the 31st of this
Okay.
month,
All right.
anywhere music is streamed. So go check it out. Call your radio stations, please. Call
Yeah.
Sirius XM, all the good ones. Help us out. So,
Yeah, you've been played on Sirius, haven't you? You've already been
Mhm.
there.
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
not mistaken. So
I have. Super fortunate to sort of cross over into all of it. And of course,
that's cool.
radio it's hard to follow these days, and I'm sure that that's actually something else I'm interested to hear, your perspective on is radio. Now that there's so many options like podcasts and this and that and Sirius XM. And when we're talking about terrestrial radio, I mean, I'm always, especially in the morning, like if I'm in that car 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., I know exactly what station I'm on. Terrestrial radio all the way, listening to it. I like to hear what's going on, right? Same thing, drive home.
And when you
I'm
say,
curious from your perspective what that feels like.
yeah, Molly, when you say you like to hear what's going on, what do you mean? What's going on locally? Do you mean what's going on in the world? What?
Both.
Oh,
I think
so
I like to be informed, and I'll honestly, a lot of times the only time hearing things is when I'm in my car.
okay, I'm gonna,
If I,
you'll get me going a little bit.
yeah, go.
But I've worked for the big companies. I've been there. I now work for a local owner who started actually 95X here in Syracuse way back in the day. The guy's a radio legend. He owns the Wolf, the Beat. We have the Dinosaur, and we have Fox Sports. And he's got a whole
All the good stuff.
yeah, all the good stuff. And he's got a whole bunch of television stations, but they're over-the-air stations. What a smart move, if I may say, because a lot of people are cutting the cable. They're subscribing to the streaming services, or they're watching over the air now. They have the little antenna either up on the house or on top of the television, and they scan and they get the local channels. Now, when it comes to radio, I think what we're doing is, if we're not local, we're not going to win. We need to be local.
Right.
There is no other local company in this market that can do what we're doing in the way of country.
I love it.
The country competition is iHeart. If you walk in that building, there's nobody there. Nobody there. All right. You walk into my building, we've got a staff. Not a big staff, but we have a staff.
Right.
I'm in the studio
It's a
every
family.
afternoon, 2 to 7. It's family. And I have a midday girl. We have a great morning show. Morning show does come from Nashville, which makes it kind of cool. But now you're going to say, well, then that's not local. But they are Big D and Bubba. And what the deal is, I can reach out to them anytime in the morning. Like, the weather's been really crappy here. All right. You've heard about the snow and all that.
Right.
I can say, hey, I just send them a quick email or a text off my phone saying, hey, 81 is, it's a major slowdown. There's a bad accident at wherever, whenever. In 30 seconds, he's got that back and on the air. So
That's amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And all the rest of the day, we're right there.
Loop,
Mhm.
which is great. And I mean, honestly, to have that option, I didn't even know that was a thing. To have that option, it keeps. I feel like as a listener, I would be much more engaged if I know that, that's still there. I'm still going to be informed. I'm still, especially if I'm in my car, the weather and such.
No,
But
exactly
think-
right.
I think that's so it's so interesting how, again, how all these things happen. And I guess, same thing with music, like we were talking about. You got to be on the cutting edge. So the fact that you guys are doing these things, I love it. Amazing.
See, this is what our competition is right here in my hand. It's the phone.
It's tough.
Because
But,
you get school
yeah.
closings, you get bulletins, you get all that. Everything's on your phone. We don't concentrate on doing the school closings on air like we used to do years ago. I wake up in the morning. And I'm watching it go across my TV screen. All the closings, the delays, whatever's going on. So let's keep the entertainment on air like the radio. We're not going to spend 15 minutes going, okay, here are the school closings today, blah, 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 2-hour delay, blah, 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 1 hour delay, blah, blah. We don't do that. So
keep it exciting with the good stuff.
Keep it exciting. And before you even leave the house, you got all that information that you need to have because of your phone. So the radio, we have to take a different angle, different aspect. The local festivals we get involved in, we go that route. Local is what we do. So
I love it.
Yeah.
And I think that for the listeners to be able to trust that they have that in their pocket, to be able to turn to you guys and know what they're going to get and have that confidence that, if they're coming to you because they want to smile, they want to know what's up. I love it. And I'm so happy that you guys are alive and thriving too.
No, we are. And I'm happy to be where I am in my career because of all the stuff that's going on, and I still have this. This is my own studio in the home. And if you're ever back here in town, I'll definitely bring you into my pod zone.
Heck yeah.
My voiceover studio. And I actually have a vocal booth. So it's all pretty cool.
We're all set. We're all set. Let's
We're
go.
all set.
Dinosaur barbecue, and I'm there.
There you go. Or the Limp Lizard. I gotta say the Limp Lizard too, because they're good.
I've never had Limp Lizard before, never, and I'm
Well,
really
Limp,
missing
you're
out.
gonna
It
love
sounds
it.
like. And they even have like a food truck now, don't they? The Limp
They got a
Lizard. I
couple of
see
them.
them
They
all
got a
over
couple of
Facebook.
food trucks. They got Limp Lizard is great. They get involved with all the festivals going on, and just good people. We had a meeting today. There's going to be a lot of great things going on this summer, right at the Inner
That's awesome.
Harbor. And that, you know what? If you don't mind, I may throw your name into the bucket for entertainment.
Absolutely. I
So,
would love to come back to Syracuse. I have no plans right now on the books, and which just makes me sad because it's my home. So I would
yeah,
absolutely love to come back and do something fun.
we need. Well, you did Fox Fest. When was the last time you did Fox Fest? That was a while ago, right?
2 or 3 years ago. And that was the last time I played Syracuse. A
Yeah,
lot of
and
my gigs have been down south and out
yeah.
west. So I would love to come back to Syracuse. It's my
Oh,
home.
we love
And
to have you.
it's always a good time. As long as it's in like June to July to August. That's okay. But any other time, it's got to be above 70 degrees, but other than that, I would love to come
Well, I
back.
don't know. I don't know about that, but we-
Aw,
it's
that's
all
okay.
good. Like I said, I'm glad to have a home, and I'll take all the lake effect you want to throw at me.
Absolutely.
So it's all good. We don't
Absolutely.
really get the hurricanes. We get very few tornadoes, if any. Of course, that seems to be increasing a little bit, but still, it's not bad. So
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And even that is the weather is some people can live their life not afraid of these changes, but man, I can tell you I am. This is frightening. And I'm really hoping for good outcomes for Earth, because we all live here, we all gotta take care of it,
we do.
all that good stuff.
We do. We do. Finally, before I let you go, if you could give one piece of advice to a young artist, maybe somebody like Jackson, trying to navigate the balance between creativity and a practical career, what would it be? Because you being an attorney, and doing the music. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that a big reason I became an attorney was not because I necessarily wanted to, but I remember my mom was really critical of my choice of being a musician. And I'm sure a lot of other people face that, in their life. Although I'm thankful for it now because the valid point of that is, especially in a world where, people like me and people like, your friend earlier, who's now out with Bailey,
Mhm.
you have to have a plan, and the plan takes money. So
Mhm.
can you become a signed artist and have songs on the radio? Absolutely. But if you want to control your destiny and not get sort of railroaded, for lack of a better term, by the industry, you have to have a plan to have some money in your pocket to be able to fund it. And the goal is that, when you're able to fund it and construct, label services yourself, which is a wonderful thing these days, because I'm sure that wasn't available 10, 20 years ago. You have to be able to afford to do it. And you have to be able to afford a lifestyle where you are traveling, a lot.
Mhm.
And all of these things, especially if you're kind of, initially bankrolling it yourself, which I was, a few years ago.
Sure.
So having a career, sorry, long answer, but having a
No, good.
career, that's lucrative has helped me be able to be in control and, put myself in a position where I have, again, a wonderful team of people who
Yep.
support me, and
Sure.
I'm not, struggling or worrying about anything because, again, I was able to struggle for a few years, work really hard, whether it be in law or music or whatever, and, eventually get to where I want to go. But again, that costs money. It costs money and it costs time. So being realistic and having a job that's flexible and allows you to earn an income and a living that,
Mhm.
can afford all of these things, so you can set yourself up to
Mhm.
be in that position. It's so important, and I wouldn't be here still doing this if I didn't have it, to be quite
Right.
honest.
Right.
So it was really really a good thing. And at the time I hated it, but law school and stuff is a bit of a drag, but I'm happy I did it, and I'm happy I'm here. And additionally, I'm helping, hopefully other people make good choices. Sometimes they don't always listen, but
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
okay. That's
No.
okay. So yeah, I mean, that's really it. And of course, don't take anything for granted either, because I think
Right.
last spiel, and then I'll stop. One thing that I felt tonight, because this is the first interview for my press cycle on the song, and when I came home earlier because I was all over the place earlier today. Like Jackson was nervous about this. You know, he's excited, but he's nervous.
Right.
And for a minute, I thought to myself, I forgot how that feels. You know, I
Mhm.
forgot
Mhm.
being a kid and the excitement and all of that that goes into it to the point that I've taken it for granted. You know, and so I think tonight, and in fact, this interview here, I am going to think to myself, wait a second, like, why are you doing this? You know, why are you here? Like, think about your life. Think about these opportunities, these people I've got to talk to, like Skip Clark and everybody else. Like, it's amazing, and I need to be able to go back and not lose sight of why I'm here. And the kid of me, when I was 14, I would be dying to be here. So I think between having a career and not taking these things for granted, is really important. And I think that's the only advice that I have for anybody.
That's awesome.
Really, if it's even good advice, I don't know, but it's my life. So,
Well, you know what? We need to get you back here. And we have some opportunities coming up this summer. And I'm going to put your name into the bucket. And I'll talk to who I need to
love
talk
that.
to. And we could probably make that happen if when the song does drop on the 31st, you said, correct?
Yes, sir. 31st.
The 31st. So if somebody where's it going to be? Will they be able to download it? Can they go to your website? Do you have
everywhere?
Everywhere. Okay.
I do. I think I do. I think my website is just my name, but I know that we have Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. You can find the music anywhere music is streamed. Spotify. It's going to be, of course, Pandora, on some of the iHeart stations. Hopefully, some awesome local stations back home will also have me, and of course, wherever music is played. So call your stations.
Yeah.
And stream the song.
Awesome.
Love it, hate it, I don't care, but listen to it.
Molly, you look great. And it's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Just it's been a while since we've actually caught up, but we are good friends and always here. Anytime you want to come on with Skip Happens, all you gotta do is go and get on the computer, do what you do, and just let me know, man. We'll get you on. We'll get you on because we love you.
Thank you. And I would love to come and play a gig there for sure. So if you'll have me back, I will be there.
Oh, please. That's a no-brainer. Of course we'd have you back. We definitely.
I love it.
Real quickly, is your dad still playing or no?
Yeah, kind of. He has he's in the stage of his life where he has his little old man band and they get together. It's so cute. They rent out a storage unit.
Okay.
And they rent out a storage unit and they have a bar in there and everything. And then they jam and they say they have a gig, but the gig never comes. So I don't know, but he has fun, so, but I think that if I played Syracuse, I would have to drag him out of retirement for one more show.
Oh yeah. We'd make that happen. Whatever we had to do.
It'd be fun. It would be fun.
Molly Diago, thank you. Thank you so much. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for being on with Skip Happens.
I love you
tonight.
too.
And of course, a lot of people have been watching. And now if they all would just subscribe to Skip Happens and not miss this again. And this is what we do. This is what I do. I talk to the artists, the independent artists, the big artists, and even in between. People like, here, Molly and I are good friends. And she needs to, it's a new chapter. So let's go. Let's go. Molly, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay right there.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for joining us.